Let me start by some prepositions. Consuming less does not mean you're more green. Perhaps you're just using your resources more. If you look at this graph, yes, most of the countries try to provide more for their inhabitants, but how they are doing. All the yellow and orange dots are more of the African countries. They are way below the world biocapacity, but they are not providing enough for their inhabitants. So yes, you're consuming less, but you're actually perhaps more poor. Informal and formal urbanism follows resources. So if you look at Cairo, Cairo is 100 kilometers wide from east to west. The city is expanding in all directions, east, west, north, and south. More than 20 million people live in this mega city. But how are they doing this? How this city is going and expanding? In Egypt, we consume a lot of resources. Our ecological footprint is increasing 3 to 4 times in the past 40 years, while our biocapacity is almost the same, if not decreasing. This is a per capita share. And yes, again, the city is expanding. It's a blob of light all day. This is a night scene from Cairo, and you can see it is lit up all through the city. We try to learn from informal growth. How can we do that? If you look at Cairo, 60% of the city is informal. All the blue areas are unplanned or informal, while the yellow parts are the planned or the formal part of the city. How can we, in this growth, decouple the impact of growth and the resource use in such a resource-scarce environment? Sorry. Again, all the red parts are the informal, just to remind you, while the gray parts are the formal city. So how can we learn from this in order to become more efficient? We started a research at Cairo University about this thing, but if you can Google Cairo, the first images that you'd find is the nice Nile with the nice buildings overlooking the Nile, but the reality is different. The reality is the more lively areas, the more informal, the congestion, you have the marketplaces where people are actually living. It's a totally different story. This is Cairo 1904, and then in almost 100 years you get this growth on all the areas. Interestingly, informal systems keep the city working. How does this happen? We started research at Cairo University looking at one informal district. It's Mbaba. It has more than 1 million people living over there. And looking at Zamalek, which is a city core, upscale neighborhood with around 70,000 inhabitants. Again, the informal systems, yes, keep the city working. We investigated the resource flow or the materials flow through these areas, and we found interesting things. If you look at the Sankey diagrams, yes, the inhabitants of Mbaba, they use less, they reuse more. So their waste is very less, but it ends in landfills because it mostly is organic waste. While the Zamalek area, the more affluent people use more resources, and they generate too much waste, but with very high recycling rate. So they have low consumption versus the higher consumption with recycling. That is done by the informal system. So mostly it is done by the informal system. How to create value for the downstream, the organic waste that ends up on the street. This is something to be considered. How to capture the informal local systems, the affordability, the accessibility, and the efficiency of these systems into the formal part of the city becomes the greater question. Please join us tomorrow in our workshop about development without informality if you want to know more. Thank you.